Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Charles, and this is episode 11 of our map here on the Pichonniere Valley, the non-competitive parallel play with Daggerwin and Chainsaw 100. Okay, I just got in my tractor, as you can see, and I am going down here to collect. I am starting this episode by getting my products here. It's not a whole lot of them. It's not the best price, but I need the money. That's how we load them. Okay. Okay, so that's how many do we have to sell? Now I know you're looking up at the top and you're saying, Charles, what are you talking about? You need money. You've got 186. Oh no, not that. I did not mean to load up the. I doubt that'll sell up here at the kiosk anyway. Maybe it will. I don't know. If it will, then so be it. Anyway, you're looking up there and you're saying, Charles, you've got $186,000. How could you possibly need money for anything? Well, that's because what I want costs a little bit more than that, just slightly. I really only needed about. Yep, just knocked my sprayer over. I only needed probably about, let's see, yep, that is silage, and I have no idea what the price for silage is now. I should probably look that up at some point. But it means that I have now the money to go up to the shop and buy the thing that I want. If I can get my tractor back around here, I'll just park it right there out of the way of that driveway. And let's see, let's go in here. Let's find sprayers. And yes, I could get one of these that attaches onto the back. I could get one that's trailed and all that. But look what I have down here. I've got the Stara. It is $196,000, and we now have the money to buy that. So we can get ourselves a self-propelled sprayer, and it holds 5,100 liters of spray. So I don't think there's really much I can do to customize that unless I wanted to change the colors. It's okay with me. It stands out from everything else we own. So we will buy it and use up the vast majority of our money. It's got us down to 34,186. Okay, we are here at the shop, and we have bought this beauty. What's it called? The Emperador 3.0. Okay. Let's see, the ladder is in the front, so we'll try and be somewhat realistic about that. No. Why won't it let me in it? Now I'm in it. Had to tab to it. Weird that it wouldn't just let me enter. But here we are. So I'm going to drive this. I have no idea what its max speed is for driving on roads and stuff. I, of course, got it mainly for field work because we have one of our crops is in desperate need of our oats, specifically. Are in desperate need of spraying. Whoa, hey! I'm the most important thing on the road. Yield to me. So anyway, I am going to get over to our fill point. I will fill this with herbicide, and then I'll spray the weeds off of the oat field. Okay, I have just been and filled up my sprayer here with herbicide, and I found out something interesting. You know, I said at the shop when I was, or in the shop menu when I bought this, I said that it, you know, it told me that it held 5,100 liters. Well, I filled it with herbicide, and you can see it filled it 100% full of herbicide, and I have 2,400 liters, because this thing will apparently hold herbicide and solid fertilizer at the same time. And I had no idea that this would also do solid fertilizer, so now I have a fertilizer spreader. I do have that other spreader that will spread like 50 meters, so I don't know that it's really worth using the fertilizer spreader on this. But meanwhile, while I'm sitting here talking, I could unfold this to see how much room I don't have. So I'm going to run into these trees and stuff here. This is going to be another one of those that's really fun to get around the perimeter here. Okay, is there anything that I need to do? I don't want to change the sprayer width. I'm going to do just to turn it on. Okay, so I can get rid of that and that. So I can hopefully see a little better. Okay, and we are doing herbicide. Now, some of you may be saying, Charles, why did you spend so much on a sprayer when you already have that one? You already have a sprayer. And yes, I do. And that sprayer holds a maximum of 400 liters. And now that we have some big fields, I really cannot imagine how long it would take and how many times I'd have to refill doing some of these big fields with that small. I mean, how quickly we outgrew it, you know. That's like first world farmer problems there, but you know. Okay. Do around the edge here now. Difficult to see where I have and haven't been. So it may be that I just go around this headland, then I try and turn it over to a worker and see what they can do with it. Now, something I did notice here, it's got a little bit of a funny spray pattern because it's got the, you know, for the center where the vehicle is, it sprays behind, but the regular arms going out are kind of in the middle of the vehicle. So, you know, when I'm coming to the ends and stuff here, there's going to be a little section of it that maybe won't have any herbicide spray on it. Now, can I turn this corner without? Maybe that'll. Oh, no. Turn that off. Yeah. That's what's so hard about the wide things. You can't really see the edges of them all that well until you get used to them. Okay, now that is a headland. Now, if I get up, can I see it all where I have been? Not really. but the worker can. So yeah, I'm going to let the worker continue with the rest of this. Oh. Really? What is the deal with this thing? Oh, just get out of the way. Okay. It just wanted me to get out. Still wouldn't let me get back in. On my, let's see, which series was that? I had a big sprayer. I guess that was way back in FS25 on my Mars series. I had a really big sprayer, and just all of a sudden, you know, it hadn't done it before, but every time I exited the vehicle after I put it on a worker, it would stop. And even if I got out of the way, it would, you know, it would just stop, and it wouldn't go anymore. Now, you may remember I put in this goat enclosure down here, and I had all kinds of ground problems with how it deformed the ground and everything, and my efforts to fix it had not been great. So I have since come in here and kind of kneaded this up, and I put down some concrete, and you can see, but you know, basically being inexperienced with concrete, is all nice and cracked and everything as I drove across it and everything, but it should work. So we should be able to sell or to unload our grass here, because we are going to feed grass to the goats here. Currently have 126, but it can go all the way up to 1,002. So I figure that's a pretty good investment there, and you know, didn't take up any more space. I didn't do a custom fence on it or anything. You know, it's gonna, since that's the only, we can only put down one type of any production. I can't put down another goat enclosure if this one were to get full. So if I put one down that only held 30, or you know, even if it held 100, you know, we've already started over 100. So you know, it would eventually fill up. This one, I don't know if we're going to be, you know, how long I play this game really depends on how long Daggerman Chainsaw 100 play. And so I don't know that we're going to play it long enough to actually fill this and get 1,000 goats in here. But one thing I know, it will hold up to 500,000 liters of food. So our little 5 bales that we put in there, yeah, it's going to need a lot more than that. Now, they are supposed to have some meadow grass. Let's see. Yeah, it's got like 992 liters of meadow grass, so they've got some of that to eat too. But that means that, I guess, until I use this field for something else, it's going to stay grass, and that grass field that we have up there, that we still have bales on, that we wrapped, we still got that grass field, and it means that whenever we mow those again, whatever bales we get from them, we are not going to be wrapping anymore. We're going to, just out of necessity, we're going to be leaving those as just grass and hauling them down, and you know, I don't know if we'll ever fill that enclosure with everything it'll take. But at least we can keep mowing the fields here, and it'll keep it in a pretty constant supply. Hopefully they won't go through it faster than we can supply it. So while I'm talking about these bales, I do have got my trailer here, and I'm going to go in and start collecting some of these up. Let's see. Oh, and there's my tree mulcher down there. Okay, and so put that to load. 4, 5, and 6. Let's see. Yeah, the other ones that I had gotten, the last ones that I got anyway, I put over here, so I may just stack these right next to it. Let's see, take those off. Let's do Shift I, and we'll unload those there. Get away from them. And then I'll re-engage to load. Because as we have already discovered, it will load them if you are too close, even if you don't mean to. Let's see. Oh, never mind. Thing is white, and it's kind of square on the bottom. I was looking at it like it was a bale over there that I had missed. Okay. Well, we didn't have as many on here as I kind of thought we did, that I remembered anyway. And so let's go up and stack these right next to here. Now these over here, I think all of these have, yeah, these are silage. That's silage. You're silage, and you are silage. Okay. Now I have to be careful with these back here because, yeah, that's still grass. That's still grass. Those are silage? Okay. And these are silage, but I've got this stack and this stack that are still grass. But they're 78% fermented, so more than likely in this episode they'll end up as silage as well. Now, here coming in the near future, I am going to build another. Production in this spot down here. So I'm going to actually have to clear those bales. So while we're at it, let's see. I want to go into let's see, what am I looking at? I'm looking at silage. And it's at its worst spot. But animal dealer, biogas plant. The biogas plant is almost what the peak is. Now, we haven't been to the biogas plant. Let's tag that and see if we can see where it's at. Okay. Biogas plant. So if I have to go down that road around the thing there, and if I take a turn off of that road that I've never taken before, I'll find it. Yeah, I think I've passed the big tanks from the biogas going that way. So, hey, I didn't plan on doing this today, but we need to clear this space, like I said, so we might as well start making a dent in it anyway. Don't know if I'll get, I can only take take 6 bales at a time, so I'm not sure that I will. Why did it not strap those? Why is it? It's not detecting them or anything. It'll let me unload them. Oh, there it did. Okay. Weird. For some reason it just didn't want to, it wasn't showing the straps on there and everything until I called up the menu. Okay, so we're on our way to the biogas plant, and I'm just gonna trust, because I did not look as we went by, that our worker is not stuck on a tree. I mean, I did do the outside of the headland. Although I have known the workers here in 25, as upgraded as they are over what they used to be, to sometimes, like if I start start like the spraying and I go around the headland, that they will go back a lot of times and want to do it over again. At least to drive over it, even if they don't, because I guess they're driving over it to detect any places they didn't do to see where the thing is, and meanwhile they're driving around and wasting money. So, yeah, 6 bales at a time. Probably need to invest in a bigger trailer. That's it up on the hill there. See those big storage tanks, so. Yay, a place to sell things that isn't the kiosk or the animal dealer. Okay, now, where? Where should I sell the silage at? In here? No. Okay. The advantage of an auto load. Okay. Is it up here? Oh, or do you have to... Does it want you to load those into from up here, maybe? I really hope it's not something that you have to tip in. Oh, come on. Just caught the edge of it there. Okay, just have to drive into that space and have it do it. Another $13,476, so yeah, not too long of a trip. I'd say that's worth it. That's like doing a pretty decent sized contract, and we're getting paid for it just off what we harvested off our fields. Could be the only silage we sell, at least for a while. I usually don't do a lot of grass field, but since I don't, grass fields aren't considered productions. We are making the food for our animals without having to actually, put any kind of production down for it or anything, so. I guess if we were to, plant a wheat field or something like that, we could expand and do chickens too. and then we'd have the trailer here to also collect the eggs. So all things that we may consider in the future. Now, chickens are one of those things that multiplies really fast. So if I can find an enclosure that holds 2,000 chickens or something like that, then I may grab that. So anyway, I'm going to load up another load and a load or two, and I'm going to go ahead and get those taken over to sell like we did the last ones, and I'll bring you back when I'm about to sell the last load. Okay, and this is the last load of these I am going to take. There are some left, but there are two in the place where we were taking them from that are still that are silage, and the rest of them over there are the grass that are on their way to be silage, and they're not silage yet, so I can't get those up here. And three in the field, near the house there. So I'm going to sell the other ones later. I can make more full loads with that, but I have made enough trips up here. It's not the longest drive, but it's repetitive and it just gets old fast. And I think this is the, fourth, fifth, maybe sixth, I don't know, I've lost count. And I found all I need to do is just ride along the side here and it will sell. And we have made it back over $100,000 by selling our silage. I didn't even plan to do that today. I was sitting here, after I bought the sprayer and everything, I was sitting there wondering, okay, how am I going to get the money to build that production that I've been talking about. And I have more than I need now, I believe. I know that the one that I'm putting down, not only do I have to do the production, but I have to find the sale point for it too. So yeah. And the sprayer did finish that first field with the oats, and I moved it over while I was doing this. I put it on the other field for the green beans that we planted. And before I took this load, I finished something in that field that it didn't finish, and then transferred the sprayer over to the cornfield, which is, looking really lovely. By the way, it's nice and big carpet of green going across the field. And also, speaking of fields, we'll look at it when we get up here, but our spelt should be ready, I believe, in the next episode. Okay, and I'll take this kind of up through our little extra entrance that I've almost made there. And we'll store this going this direction because it's easy to hook it up that way. Okay, so yeah, this field down here, you can see our spelt is growing. It won't destroy crop if I walk in it, will it? No, only if I drive machines over it. So yeah, that, unfortunately, like I say, you can see the big red mark down at the bottom of the screen where we did not put lime on this before we planted, or I guess I'll take full blame for that. And we are in growth stage 7 of 8. So, yay! We're going to have 2 fields, and I have some ideas with what I'm going to do. So, some of this is going to become yard. I'm going to expand the yard so I've got a little bit more place. I may even put in some sheds, things like that. Those are going to kind of be over time as I have extra money that I don't need to spend other things on. Let's see. Let's find our sprayer, because I am quite worried. Yep. And it's still... Oh, look at that. It let me in. Stupid workers. My goodness. I'm guessing that it didn't even finish the headland that it was doing. So it probably made it down to this point and then didn't make it out. So I will try and help it along here, and I'll just go very quickly around the headland. Okay, so that's weird. It won't let me enter the vehicle from the front where the actual ladder to climb into it is, but it will if I'm behind where the joint for the main sprayer arm is. Go figure. Oh, stop spraying, even though I can't see you. I don't want to hit those poles because, like I say, when I was planting the corn in here, I found out that those poles, the telephone poles there, do have collision on them. There are some on the map in some fields that don't, but I think those are the ones that run in the middle of the fields. But the ones that run along the edge, they certainly do have collision. Okay, turn that corner and stay away from pole. Yep, see, there you go. Well, hopefully it'll have enough to finish this field. I didn't really check to see how much of the field it realistically did before I found it in the trees over there. But considering that, where it was and everything, I doubt that it did very much of the center. And people wonder why I know some people have gotten on to some other players about cutting down trees and stuff, and cutting down too many and things like that, but you can understand why. Okay, now if I put that on a worker, what will they do? I mean, they've only got about 8% of spray left. Should I just stay with it? Yeah, I'll just stay with it. I won't make you watch it all. Maybe I'll get a little shot there. Maybe we can use that for a thumbnail or something. And so I won't make you watch this. I'm going to wait until the worker runs out of her herbicide, just 8% left, and then I'm going to refill it, put it back on this field, let it finish, and we will continue on with something else. Well, or right before right before this, I popped into the map and checked, and they actually did that. That was the last bit of this field to be done. So I don't need to refill this. We used 1 more % of the herbicide, and we are done. And that's all of our fields sprayed, especially these big fields. My goodness, I'd still be working on that first big field. Yeah, and this is why it's a good thing that we're about to harvest the spelt. Well, no. You know, I better, if I'm going to park next to this, I probably ought to turn it around, because when I get out of the vehicle, it's going to put me next to it. Probably on the left side here. Well, no, it put me out the front. Won't let me get back in there. But if I go back here, it will. Okay, puts me out there but won't let me in there. Okay, so let's see. What's the next thing we can do? Now, something you might have noticed in the early in the episode is that I still had the time set to 0. There is a bunch of time stuff that I have to talk about. I had the time set to 0. Sometimes I do that when I first get on the map, because I'm looking around. I'm looking around on the map, and might take a look and see what's in the sale or something like that. Usually nothing in there, so it's never any big deal. And I forgot to start the time again, but I had it set on 0 for approximately about half an hour worth of play. And what I had oh, that was a spraying contract right there I had looked at. Yeah, so I looked to see what kind of things there were, and I found a spraying contract. Now, where was this other thing? Oh, there's a bale wrapping. That wasn't on there before. But there was something else. What? There's harvesting. That wasn't on there before either. Don't want to do that one. Not going to do that one. What is that? Spinach? Spinach? No. We have some mowing contracts. Now, we could mow. Now, that's the field that's directly across the river from our fields there. That's for $4,855. And there's a plowing contract. Now, plowing contract for $7,000. For plowing, that's a pretty big field. Can't say that I would be excited to do that one. So, let's see. And I don't have a plow. Now, I could get one. And if I do, but am I going to get one just to do a contract though? Let's see, where plows. Yeah, you will not find me using any of these. I hate using these. They are slow. I have trouble lining them up for some reason. Don't like them. Even the widest ones that you can get just aren't as wide as most cultivators that you can use to create fields and things like that. But for a contract, you would need something that was, an actual plow, classified as a plow. And so this, I think, is the only way that I would do it. It is technically classified as a plow, so theoretically it would let me do that contract with that. And it's only $4,200, so it might be something to keep in mind in the future if there are a few of them on there that we might want to do. It would essentially be like doing let's see now, where is that one? That's that field. Let's go ahead and accept this contract. Let's see, I haven't used our big tractor. The mower is right there. Okay, now I believe this field should be like, where our usual turn is here, like right after we go across the bridge or something like that. I should turn my, oh, not that big one, but I should turn the mini-map back on. Yeah, I know one end of the field is there. I don't know. I don't know where the entrance to this field is. Well, we'll keep driving around it until we find it, I guess. Ah. Yep. I'm going to use the magic box here and get rid of that because there are going to be enough things that I can run into without adding a fence to the equation. Okay, and who knows, this might end up being a field that we buy one of these days, so turn it on, lower it down, back up just a little bit. Am I being nice and windrowing that for them too? Oh. Yeah, I'm going to have to learn how to drive from the side better here for doing these. Field edges and things. Make a trip around here. I guess down here to the trees is the end of it. And the other don't run into the water, I guess. Maybe down here, maybe that's how far down the field runs. Hard to tell with a grass field. You never can tell exactly where the edges of it are. Or you can sometimes, but most of the time it's fairly difficult to see what's field and what's not. So might as well get it all in there. And in the scheme of things, this is not going to add a whole lot of money to our account, but, you know, might as well do one contract if it's going to go to the trouble of giving them to us. Took out some of their bushes there. I should get a bonus for that. Way too many bushes on maps. Oh. Let's see, is that magic box got a collision on it? I hope not, because I just rammed it. Okay. I think I'll do the rest of this in a time lapse, because you don't need to see all of it. Well, I guess you will see all of it, but you don't need to see it in real time anyway. Anyway, this mower should make pretty short work, just a few passes up and down, and we'll have it. Okay, and we are getting our last little bit of this. We are at 99%, and we are done. We don't have to do any more, so fold that up. Go in and find that. And collect. And another $4,855 is ours in our account. We're going to end on 105,202. Okay, get this onto the road here, and I'll get out and restore that guy's fence. Okay. Now, just for giggles, let's go in and let's zoom in and find said field. And that field is $132,960. Okay. Let's see, this one is right across from us, and that is 164. That one is 194. Okay. Now, that one we don't own currently, and that one is 65,000, but if I use that, I won't have the money to put down the production that I want. So, yeah, 34 might be our next. 34 might be our next one. Now, I'll have to look at that as we go by. I want to see. I'm not sure. Daggerwin owns that one, and I don't think it has a fence that you can delete. It's not one of the ones with a box around it, so I don't think you can delete that fence, or at least Daggerwin has not. And I tend to think that if he could, he would. Yeah, it's just got a gate, so maybe we'll rethink that um, and not do that. Now, I know I turned the wrong direction. I did not suddenly lose my sense of direction. There is another field here, and I know Daggerwin's done a couple of contracts in this field. Did one just in a recent episode, I believe. So, come on. Really? I just want to get in and check the price of that field. And that's 33. And that's 171. Little 32 down there wouldn't be much at all. That's 57. But this field, anyway, no fence around it. So, yay. So that's a possibility for the future, anyway. But if I had, I think my current thinking anyway. I've got this field in grass. I've got the other field down there that I'm kind of, I put that goats on, and I'm kind of thinking that if I'm going to do more animals at all, then I'll put all the animals down on that. So, I mean, who knows how much of that I might take up. For the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and grow the rest of it in grass and just let it regrow and cut that as it comes along. Now, I'm also thinking, because I like to have my fields kind of all, in a row or, kind of together. I don't like them scattered all across the map. I know some people play that way. I just don't like that. So, another one that I'm kind of eyeing maybe for the future is this big one that's right across from where our cornfield is. But let me see, that's 51, and that one's 289,464. So yeah, we're going to have to earn quite a bit. Now, it's very possible for us to earn that, really, just from making sure that our greenhouse has, that our products from the greenhouse are in their peak time, and then store them up and wait until the peak time and then sell them. So, but yeah, I've got those 3 silage bales still here. Probably in the next episode, maybe on camera, maybe not. I'll load up by then. The rest of the silage should be ready, and we can take those and sell those. We're going to harvest probably we're going to harvest our spelt. Let's see what spelt there. Yeah, next month it's going to be not a great price. But, and I don't have anywhere to store it. Now that's an important distinction. I mean, it doesn't exactly have much of a price difference from the bottom to the top. I mean, $8.34 and $11.88. And I currently do not have a silo. Now, I would like to build that here where I've got my yard. And once this field has been harvested, I would be able to build it somewhere. Maybe some, I don't know. I wonder if I can fit one like right up here. Well, it was flatter looking from down here anyway. I don't know. I would find somewhere, probably somewhere in the range of this field, in order to put a silo to put the spelt that I just took off this field. I want to then landscape some of the rest of the land there to kind of reserve for sheds and things. Excuse me. Had a yawn there. Just not. It's another late night video, and reserve some space for sheds and everything. And then I have a purpose in mind for the rest of this field. And actually, once we harvest our spelt from this field over here, I may continue that entire purpose for this entire field. And I'll talk more about that in a future episode. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. If you liked the video, please go down and hit the like button. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. And if you would like to be notified when I make new videos, just ring the bell. And I will see you all next time. Bye for now.